So let's talk about Avowed. You have heard for months that this thing is going to be a real fat, stinky poop. Okay? But people trust my opinion, and I'm here to say something that you're probably not going to want to hear. So the click-off rate on this video is going to be pretty high. The game looks decent. The game plays decent. But there are some issues that we need to talk about. The game has had a lot of money pumped into it. Like a lot of money. Like a staggering amount of money pumped into it. Is it where it should be for the amount of money and the amount of money that they still will pump into it? No, it's not there yet. Like, it's not anywhere close to where it should be. Honestly, if you had told me that this was a game that was made 10 years ago by a mid-range studio, and this was one of their first forays into the RPG like landscape, you know, I would tell you, yeah, it's right up there. It's got all the tropes. It's got all the, the bad writing plus that you've grown to come and expect from these types of games. You know, they do that thing where it's like you find a dead body and then the character's traveling with you. Oh, we should probably, see what he has. Oh, look at that, a bow. And then it teaches you how to use a bow. Okay, like it has all that kind of shit in it, right? And I'm not to say that the whole game is like that, but what you have to understand is this game has had way more money put into it. And I just kind of feel like for the kind of game that they made, it should be better. Like, it should absolutely be better. And it's not. The game really reminds me of the kind of hokey RPG where it like lets you explore the world, limited explore. They've got their story on rails. It's so reminiscent of the 2000s tropey RPG. And I used to love these kind of games, okay? So don't get me wrong, but I just kind of feel like, and I get it, I'm older. I don't feel like the game is bad. And that sucks to say that because I want to say that the game is bad. But, like, even the community surrounding the game is really weird. I mean, the primary complaint of the people surrounding the game is that you can't fuck any of the characters. I didn't know that relationship component of this was necessary, but it's like the whole time that I'm seeing the playthroughs and I'm looking at stuff for this game, it really does remind me of like back when they were still trying to figure out how to make a good RPG. I feel like we've kind of mastered it at this point. I think a lot of studios have plenty of other studios that they can go and like read their homework and like figure it out, but for some reason that this studio doesn't. Now, I don't think that the game should have got this much heat. Because it definitely has. Like, the game has gotten a lot of heat. I've seen crazy complaints. Now, before I was talking about the complaints about the players, there's a whole different complaint group of people who will never play it. And, when I'm sitting here and I'm watching this, man, the problem that I'm having, that I keep running into, is the game isn't bad. But you watching this have been told not to play this game. It's going to be bad. It's not worth the money. I do think it's not where it should be for the money you put into it. I do think it has a very odd style that could have had some more time. The environments are clean. But I'm just going to throw this out there. environments in games have been clean through every studio. Okay, like, I don't know one studio that can't do the clean environments anymore. Now apparently this game was also made by the people who made Outer Worlds. Let's see here. Pillars of Eternity. Okay, that makes more sense. Now, I liked Pillars of Eternity. I liked Pillars of Eternity a lot. Okay, Neverwinter Nights, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the Sith Lords, Fallout New Vegas. Okay, I didn't know that. Didn't know they had their hand in that. They've had a lot of experience, and now they made Grounded, and Grounded was kind of like this thing I'm explaining too, of this kind of tropey RPG experience that's like limited. Although Grounded actually had unique stuff surrounding it, so I'm not going in on Grounded. But what I can't figure out is how this project went wrong at all. I'll say my overall opinion of the game is that people should play it, and people should play it with a limited, like, limit your feelings. Pretend the game is a studio. This is how I had to enjoy the game. Okay? Pretend the game is a studio that hadn't made anything before, and this is their first game, and the budget wasn't insane. And you'll like it. You will like it. Despite all the complaints of, like, I don't know. It's every game with the gay shit, and I get that. And the DEI and all the stuff that people talk about. If it's in every game, it's not a complaint anymore, guys. Like, we have to get past it. Like, if it's in every game, then you just don't like games anymore. We can say that. I can get past it because I still like games. Okay? And if every game has it in it, like, I don't know what you want me to do. Not play games? That's really hard to do. So where I'm at with it is, as long as you look at Avowed as a mid-level studio that has had limited experience and didn't pour a shitload of money into it, I think it's an enjoyable game. But it's a lot of stuff to cope. And that's what it is. It's cope. It's a lot of stuff to cope about in your head while you're playing it. There is no other way to play this game without thinking that it's worse than it is. And there's just a lot of people who are giving bad opinions before it ever came out. And I think that that's just the situation you're in with this kind of game. It, you know, plus listen, it is not lost on me that there's a $70 price tag on this game. And I get that. I would personally, if I were you, wait for updates. Wait for a sale. I mean, when the sales come in and they're not exactly what they expected, I think there could be a sale rather than later. That's just what I feel like. Like, I feel like it could go on sale faster. And some games do. They do pour sales and then they decide to make up the shit on the back, you know. But that's my opinion, guys. Now, people trust me. And I think that where I am with it, it's an okay game. It's okay. It's good for a playthrough. Okay? It's got interesting systems. The game is unique in its own ways. It does have, like, a little bit, like, weird take on, like, different races and different stuff like that. I think it's playable, and I think it's like I'm riding the fence here because there's so much wrong with it, but there's so much right with it. And I'm really caught between my younger self, 2000s, playing RPGs, who would have loved this if we weren't in the state that we were with games right now, and myself now, who's older and I've seen it all before and I'm jaded. So where I'm at with it is I feel like it's a game that people should play, but just don't fall in love with it, because it's not, I don't know. I don't really know where this is going to end up.